Okay. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. It's such a pleasure to be here. As mentioned before, I come from the organization called Cinema for Peace. So the idea of Cinema for Peace, as it inherently says from the word, is to put cinema and use it for peaceful purposes, or to propagate peace, if we can call it. So as I know, it's a bit too tiring of a day. We had a lot of presentations, I assume. Um, so I'm just gonna try to make it as short as possible. Um, to yeah. So basically, Cinema of Peace, like I mentioned before, is a non-profit organization that tries to influence people and um, try and attempt to solve the global social uh, problems of the world. So the idea is, as you might know, cinema. I don't know, people really think about the role of cinema in kind of changing the social perspective of people. I know people mostly just go to cinema to watch the film, to enjoy, have a good time, to be entertained. Of course, cinema does have that potential. Cinema is a way to entertain yourself. Cinema is a way to, get past those tiring hours in a long flight that takes forever to reach the place. It's a way for parents to keep children and the family together on the couch. It's used for a lot of purposes. So, but cinema as in itself, the tool, have a huge potential in terms of not only altering the way people think for the better, but also to kind of change the world ever so slightly a bit. So that's what we attempt to do at Cinema of Peace. It is to understand other perspectives. Actually, the picture is really interesting. This is a picture from one of our screenings in the Middle East. So we are trying to understand different perspectives through films, to portray them on the screen, to promote films that encourage such understanding of different perspectives, and for educational purposes, to promote education on certain important issues like climate change, or the refugee crisis, or racism, or any other kind of social issues that we face today in the world, and to create compassion. One of the greatest power of film, as I believe, is to create, or to create some kind of empathy within people. So when you watch a film, you're not just watching another person on the screen. That's what most people think. But psychologically, we are attributing ourselves to the subject in that film. We are becoming themselves, and we are traveling through their journey in life. In a sense, it is just showing you a whole life in about 1.5 hours sped up. So it's a great way to create empathy for a certain subject, for a certain type of person, especially at this time when nationalism or hatred is on the rise, or I don't know if it's on the rise. We just feel like it's on the rise, maybe. But especially at this time, I think it is very important to use cinema or any other form of art for to create some kind of peaceful coexistence. That's what we are trying to do. So one of the main event that we have, one of the main projects that we have every year, is the Cinema for Peace Gala, where we try to invite every filmmaker on our nominee list. We have a list of nominations for every year that we promote, and we get all the filmmakers, we get other celebrities that promote and kind of help us in our cause. We invite other businessmen and all ultra high profile individuals, and we get them together and we try to influence and put into the limelight certain global humanitarian issues. and we honor films with our Cinema for Peace awards. We have different categories, like the Cinema for Peace Most Valuable Film, Most Valuable Documentary, the Green Award, the Award for Justice, and so on. So it just happened like recently, like day before yesterday, and we have like a row of events that happens along with the gala. Like we have a pre-dinner to the gala itself, and then a foreign policy and human rights dinner that happens in the Reichstag, which happened day before yesterday. Yeah, and today we are having a dinner in honor of Daniel Ellsberg in Munich on the day before the Munich Security Conference, is happening tonight. Daniel Ellsberg is, if you don't know, he's a guy who published the Pentagon Papers. He's the guy who wrote the nuclear war plan for USA. So we are at Munich Security Conference to put into the limelight certain important issues with regard to nuclear disarmament and advocate disarmament by 10%. That's the goal. So basically, in a nutshell, that's what we do. We try to advance these issues through the medium of films. We do that in a lot of ways. One of them is the gala. Then we have the screenings that we do every year, throughout the year, at different locations. Like we did a few of them. Interesting ones would be we did a screening at this separation wall between Israel and Palestine in Jerusalem. So we kind of screened the film at the separation wall, and we invited people from both the parties, like from the Israeli side and the Palestinian side, sitting together as one audience, watching a film about Israel and Palestine, and watching a film called Combatants for Peace. If you guys want to check out, the film is really, really good, and the film talks about a group of combatants from Palestinian side and a group of combatants from the Israeli side coming together to form a non-profit organization that works for peace. So we have a good relations with them. We did the screening along with this NGO called Combatants for Peace. We did a screening at the DMZ International Film Festival. DMZ International Film Festival, if you guys don't know, is a film festival that happens at the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. So the idea was to do the screening at the DMZ, at the demilitarized zone in itself, and try to screen it in a huge screen so that both people from the North and South Korea can watch the film. But it did not really work out. You guys could guess why. So we are still trying on it. We are still working on it, and hopefully this year we'll be able to accomplish that. And these screenings are called wall screenings, as we call it. We have different types of screenings, and wall screenings. The idea of wall screenings is to reduce walls that separate people. So when Trump talks about wall, we are planning here to do screenings on the wall in case that happens, and try to bring that down. We have several other types of screening, like the refugee screenings, for example. These refugee screenings, are not really educational in any way. It is for relaxing purposes, therapeutic purposes. So we show cartoon films or Shaun the Sheep to the audience who are mainly refugees or refugee children, to offer them some kind of escape from the harshness of life. We also have war or political screenings that talks about certain political issues. We have guerrilla screenings, which apparently we are trying to advance more this year. Basically, it is to take a film equipment, some kind of technology, go around in Berlin, go to a park or something, find a wall, and just screen the film all of a sudden without inviting anybody. People who are going through would just stop and watch the film. That is the idea. So we have a lot of interesting projects as well coming over this year. It'll be great if you guys could check out our website, hit us a like on our social media channels and support us in some way, in any way you got possible. So basically, that's what we do. We create awareness, education, we influence people, we try to get in touch with the people who kind of make decisions in this world, the UN, the governments, and try to advance activities for a peaceful world, basically. So the film that we'll be showing today is a very interesting film. It is a rather an old film, but of course it is more important today than ever, as well. It's a film about a founder of an anti-Semitic group who was a strong opponent of Jewish people, and apparently he somehow discovered that he had Jewish roots, and it talks about his transformation, understanding that he is a part of the other, and how those identities kind of collapse. And you'll watch the film. Well, I just don't want to bore you more into like explaining the whole thing. So I hope you guys enjoy the film. We'll have a very super short discussion, maybe perhaps after the film, like if you guys want to give some comments about the film, or what we do, or any questions that you have about cinema movies will be answered at that time. So let's go forward with this. I don't know if it's do I have to do this into like a
No,
but
the
I
film- no,
we
the
were
film will be here.
yeah.
It will be here. It will be here because it's too much light outside, so we
Yeah.
just keep it a bit.
We thought about doing it on there. Of course, it's like nice and comfy on the couch, but I don't think the light would allow us
It's
to
not so dark
do it.
yet.
Yep.
So we can just make it. So then you can just put the lights on there
Do you wanna?
and just lights